Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku Puzzle. It's Tuesday the 17th of January 2023. I hope you are keeping well. I feel the cemetery myself is not a boast I think one should make unless you happen to be like super grave digger or something like that. But in the way that it was meant as a quote by one of the last remaining mafia bosses, according to the Guardian. It doesn't seem to be a nice thing to say, does it? Apparently, one of the last bosses of the mafia has been arrested after being in hideout because he used private health. I like the irony there somehow. It's a shame that gangsters, and we use the word mafia in Thailand, in the Thai language as well, to mean any kind of organized crime. The last few months, the nation's been obsessed with Chinese gangsters and taking over a lot of control. I suppose we already have enough gangsters. We don't need any more imported. Thank you, I suppose, is the attitude. It's a terrible thing across the world. I actually just a few days ago I saw a movie about the Cray twins, brilliantly acted, absolutely incredible acting. But like they've had this, there's sometimes this Hollywood aura of like something smart, and I don't know about it, and which of course they did with movies like The Godfather in some ways as well. Some kind of romanticizing of what is horrific activity of these people. All right, so if you are new to the channel and wondering why I'm chatting on about nothing, I often do, because this is Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku Puzzle. Sudoku is one part. It's a kind of blog and of my thoughts, feelings, ideas, and other nonsense daily, usually. So let's get on with the game. Now, this is Tuesday, and that means that usually, although it professes to be a medium level puzzle, it's often not. It's often basically an easy level game. So if you're new to Sudoku, and you could well be, here's a quick idea. There are 9 squares across each row, and some rows already have numbers filled in. I didn't jump over that on purpose, by the way. 8, 1, 3, 7 have already been found in this row. Your job, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to find the other missing digits in this row from 1 to 9. Well, we have 1 already, so from 2, excluding 3 and 7, up to 9. And then we have columns down, and we do exactly the same thing there. And then we have these smaller 3 by 3 blocks, and we look for numbers 1 to 9 there. When I say look for, we don't just stare at the screen, although sometimes I do stare blankly at the screen without getting any ideas. No, what I mean is we have to use logic to find the answer. Nothing to do with maths. Don't worry if you're not good at maths. You don't need to be. As long as you can count from 1 to 9, or actually don't even need to be able to count. You just need to see the difference in the symbols, in the numbers 1 to 9, and that's good enough. Right now, well, how do we go ahead? We have 4 blocking up here and 4 blocking up here. What do I mean blocking? I mean cannot reappear in this column or this column, because we already have 4 in this column and this column down here and down here. So when we look up here, 7 and 1 are already in these squares. There is only 1 empty square. We know that the 4 goes there. It cannot go anywhere else. If you are new to Sudoku and worried, hey, could I put another number there? Stop worrying. No need to take a downer or whatever they are. Right, 4's block across here, across these 2 rows, and up here. And that will be a 4 there. 4's blocking down here, and 4 across here. Here's a 4. And it looks like there's 1 more to get. Oh, sorry, if you see the screen jumping there, so did I. I have no idea why that happens. It just randomly does that from time to time. Something about this website, I guess, or my key combination on or where I touch the mouse, or something like that, I guess it is. Anyway, 4's are now done. We thank them for their service, and they will be back in another Sudoku later today, which will be much more difficult than this one, no doubt. In the meantime, let's get on and try and find another suitable candidate that we can get, like this 1 blocking across here and 1 blocking across here. So, and as I say, if you see like little gaps when I'm dragging across, that's just where the mouse jumps. My poor mousing technique. And again, over here, just like we did the 4's a moment ago, there is only 1 empty square, and we know that a 1 must fit there. We can't finish off the ones. Now, it doesn't mean that just because we've done one digit we can follow it through to the end. No, that's not how the game works, really. We have to just keep plugging away and looking for stuff until we find something. And at the moment, I'm not finding anything. And if you're wondering why not, it's because I don't play these games ahead of time. I'm just playing it live right now, looking at the grid. I don't even look at the grid. Well, I do have to enter the digits into the Sudoku solver, but I don't. Other than that, I don't actually look, and I try to kind of not pay attention to it while I'm doing it. So it's a kind of fair test that when I look at the grid, when I turn on the camera, is really the first time that I'm looking at it. Right, come on, it's time to find something. Well, I'm not finding. I can't see anything, which is unusual. But so for a Tuesday, I mean. So I shall just click on the digits like this in sequence. Oh, okay, I can see something. So I have two blocking. Oh, across here. I've found something, haven't I? Oh, cancel that thought. Cancel that thought. You will often find me doing this as well on the channel. I was about to tell you something, and I just realized that it wouldn't have been true, so I'm not going to tell you that instead. I should just casually glance through the numbers until I see something that can be done. 4s are done. Why am I clicking on 4? I don't know, but there you are. 5s. This is easier now. 5's blocking up here and across here like so. That means that's going to be a 5 there. And 5 across here and 5 across here. Here's a 5. By the way, if you are new to Sudoku, there is no need to rush. If you check out the comments section, you see people putting times and things like that. That's entirely their prerogative. You don't need to. And going fast is not necessarily a good thing, as we often make mistakes if we go fast. The point is, the times often just let people know how easy or difficult they found the game. So that's really, I think, the object of putting a time in the comments section. Now we have 8s blocking across these two rows. Obviously you can see I just finished off the 5s. They're just doing what I told you before. Now we have 8s here like this. I'm not doing anything I haven't mentioned already. Okay, we have 8s across here. You can see 8s across here and 8s up here. So here's an 8. And we have 8 blocking this square, 8 blocking this square, 8 blocking this square. So in this row down here, here's our 8. But can't finish them off because the remaining squares look like this. So there are 2 more 8s to get, and they fall somewhere in these 4 squares. Now, if this square is an 8, this won't be, of course, because it'd be in the same row. So it means that this. So either these 2 squares are 8s, or these 2 squares are 8s. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was going through, wasn't I, the digits, looking for easy stuff. Are we missing 6? Oh my god! On a Tuesday, an entire missing digit. A 6 is not included at the start. Well, well, well. I never noticed that. See, I don't pay attention to these things really. I never even noticed that until now, and we're quite a long way into the game. So, if you are a beginner, you might suddenly be panicking and saying, how on earth am I going to find the 6s? Fear not, fear not. We will get there, I promise. It just means that we will have to find the first 6 by ourselves by filling in the other digits, of course, okay? Right, 7 blocks up here and down here, so that will be a 7 there. People, I think, get worried. How am I going to do this? Well, don't worry, we will be able to do it. Now, 7 and 3 block across here like this. Do you see? There's a 3 here and there's a 7 here. Blocking right across here. That means that these 2 squares, right, 7 and 3 are disallowed from these 2 squares, right? Let's just start that again. No 7 or 3 is allowed in these 2 squares, and there are only 2 squares left. So 7 and 3 are in here, right? Now, can I place them? No, don't know. But what I do know is that if that's 7 and 3, then there are only 2 more empty squares to fill. So what will they be? They will be 6 and 9. They have to be because we have 7 and 3 here, and we need all digits from 1 to 9 up here. So these have to be, well, look, we've got the 9 blocking up here. Now we know this is 3 and 7, not 9. So we know the 9 goes there. All right. And then this will be, if this is 3 and 7, this has to be 6 to complete the block there. I'm not sure if I said something incorrect earlier on, but anyway, that was I sometimes misspeak. Right, and now across this row now we have only one empty square, and we know that the 2 goes there. So now we do have a 6. It's by itself, it's feeling lonely, but that's okay. Others will join it soon. Now what's missing from down here? We're looking for 6 and 9. Any help on 6 or 9? Not yet. Okay, so we'll come back to that later. Speaking of 9s, what is going on with the 9s? Anything in particular? Much? Not sure what's going on with the 8s. Any changes? No changes. So I'm going to go back to 1 because we have done some things now, and so there may be. So the thing is, I started by looking at the numbers going from 1 through to 9 slowly, of course. Now you may say, well, you already checked digit 1, and yes, I did. I checked it before, but since that time, the grid has changed, right? We've added a couple of digits, and if that's the case, then something else will have changed on the grid as well. It's highly possible, and so we will be rechecking to see if any of those changes are significant. So I'm guessing this is not a typical Tuesday beginner's game, as it usually is. 4, 5 are done. I'm still clicking them. 6 is done. 7. And it's rather or slightly more difficult than others. Now we've got 7 blocking this square, and we've got 7 blocking this square. So in this column down here, there's only one space where the 7 can go. It must go there. Now this 3 blocks this square here, can't go there, so that will be our 3, and then 1 will finish off this column. Now here's an example of thinking forward if you're new to Sudoku. When we look for the 1s in this block here, oh no, I don't need to. I can actually place it. I was going to say, before I noticed this 1 here, I was going to say 1 appears in one of these 2 squares, which blocks up here, and then the 1 blocks up here gives us a 1 there. I was about to say that, but actually it was a bit easier than that even. Such is life. And Sudoku. 1s go here. Right, so 1, 4, and 5 are now finished. What is there to do? Well, a few things. Let's see what's happening with the 2s now. We have 2 blocking up here, and that puts a 2 into that square there. With the 3s, what else do we know? We know 3s block across these 2 rows here, and that puts a 3 up there. Now we have 3 and 8 blocking down here, and we have 3 and 8 blocking here down here as well, right? So we know that these 2 squares can only contain 3 or 8, and that means that these 2 squares must contain 6 and 9. And we can see the 9 blocking here, so here's the 9 and here's the 6, and now there's just an empty square up here looking for a 9. It's found it, and of course the 9 blocks here, so that will be a 9. And now we will be looking for a 6 in that square and a 6 in that square. One empty square in this row looks like it's going to be a 9. Right, okay, what's to be done now? Any progress on the 2s yet? Not really. Any progress on the 3s yet? I'm going to say no. So how about the 6s? Any progress there? Yes, because 6 is in one of these missing squares, or and therefore we'll block down here and then a 6 across here. So that's going to give us a 6 there, then 6 across here and across here. Here is our 6. Can we do any more of those? Yes, we can. We need a 6 in one of those squares at the top there, so 6 blocks up here. Here's a 6, and the last number to place here is a 2. Now the 2 blocks down here and 2 across here, so that must be a 2 there, and then 2 down these 2 columns and across this row puts a 2 into that square. 1, 2, 4, and 5 are all done and dusted. So we are looking for 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now where do we have, here we have a single, I knew there was somewhere we had a single missing number. It's up here. Right, what is that missing number, dear Sudoku? It's a 6, isn't it? Let's put that in, and then up here we're looking for a 9, I guess. Okay, and what do we know now? What was this? 3, 7. Over here we are looking for 8. Okay, we've got an 8 blocking this square here. We don't have 8 in this column yet, so let's place it. And then the missing digit here is going to be a 7, I think. 7 blocks across here, so here's a 7. This will be a 3. 3 blocks down here, here's our 3, and here's our 7. 7 blocks down here, giving us a 7 in that square, which is the final one. Missing number here is a 9. 9 blocks up here and across here. Okay, so are you feeling less anxious now, newbie Sudoku? See, I told you not to worry so much. I would get you to the end, maybe not in the most beautiful or elegant way. Oops, sorry, hit the wrong key again, as I am often inclined to do when I'm speaking and not paying attention. 3 also blocks across here. As I was saying, newbie Sudoku, don't worry if you have a single digit missing. You will be able to find it. You just have to get the first iteration of it by finding other digits first. Okay, that's it from me. I hope to be back later with some other Sudoku. Bye-bye.